That's right. Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings YouTube Atheist Community and Stick and Fun. Yeah, it's just a $5 toy I got on sale. I like it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, last night I'm really tired. Long day and so forth and whatnot. So this is really late. So get to the point. Stickam last night. Yeah, it was interesting. Paul's ego was in early, so we had some nice conversation. Ha ha ha. Jovial, lighthearted kind of mush. And then Piro, he was kind of cranky, and we didn't really have a, really coherent discussion, so that was a little disappointing. But we had such a good one earlier in the week in that tiny chat place, and he blew it. He didn't get a recording of it, so irritating. So yeah, I was gonna have a short night last night because I really had a lot to do today, and I didn't. I stayed till 7 in the morning and 7:30, whatever, and I didn't get any sleep, and I'm just really done in, as they say. I was already done in like 10 years ago, and so I'm like really, really done in. You doubled. I'm doubled. Doubled in. Double done. Double done. Doing. And such. Anyway, so what else? Oh, Karina. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. We sort of had an argument, sort of. We do that now and then. And it was okay-ish. Yeah, she was just breaking the news that she's technically, I guess she'd still be an antinatalist, but she's an antinatalist in the, whatever his name is, Ujamaa flipper kind of way, Skid Row Radio kind of guy. They just want to reduce world population, but they still think this life game is somehow purposeful, blah, 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 blah. Or at least they think that's some sort of more practical approach to it or some other kind of bullshit. And so I had to keep narrowing the focus and trying to point the issue to get just to this point that, I just don't, logically, if the argument's put to you, and it never is. It never was in my whole life. No one ever put the argument to me. What exactly does life accomplish? What do we exactly do besides gratify needs created inside of us? Deprivations, wants, desires, a sense of uncompleteness. Like the project is undone. I have 4 million undone projects. So they keep me occupied because I want to finish them before I'm dead. And, yeah, it's a motivator, but is it a good motivator? Is that a positive thing? You get involved in a relationship and somehow, it's good for whatever. You get your good few hours, and then you gotta kind of build up to want to accomplish something with it again, and then again and again. It's all this build-up crap. We're always constantly just building up some sense of, yeah, I'm almost there. I've almost got it again, and it's just this constant chase of bullshit. And, that's the human dilemma. And for animals, it's just an obvious no-winner. It's just eat, shit, fuck, eat, shit, fuck, eat, shit, fuck. Billions and trillions and zillions of times with all of this pain and suffering in between. All the miserable crap that goes with it. And, yeah, it just, wince. That's all I can see is a wince to this thing. And it just seemed kind of frustrating that people don't really... I don't know what to say about it. She even pointed out that in some of my previous videos years ago I wasn't quite as draconian, and I was sort of playing the devil's advocate ethical card, like, yeah, well, I think the world should come to an end, but yeah, okay, I wouldn't make that decision for everybody else kind of thing, and blah, blah, blah. And I did sort of do that, and I can't retract that, but some of that was just me placating what I thought I could get away with, in terms of what I thought I could actually say. And maybe even the fact that I had never even broached the subject as a possibility because I just thought it was so alien, an idea. And that's how really bad things really are, is that no one's ever justified existence on this planet. They just keep pretending. They've lived with gods forever, and now they replace God with some sort of pantheist notion of Gaia or accomplishment for the sake of accomplishment, survival for the sake of survival, and that's good enough. And it's like, well, that should be analyzed. Shouldn't we dissect this thing and figure out if there's anything really it's made out of except for some sort of notion in your head of accomplishment? Is there anything real? I mean, we know the suffering is real. Is this accomplishment thing actually real? Or is it just a few moments of satisfaction? I mean, you eat your hamburger and go, that was good, and then you're full. And then you wait to get hungry again. I mean, fuck, it's stupid. Yeah, to do it over and over at the price of all the failure for the few victories. I mean, just think of any kind of contest, any kind of thing that takes place in the world. Every time there's an Olympics, what is there? There's 100 times more failure than there is victory. How does that equation make any sense? All that disappointment for the little glory moments of a few people who won't be satisfied a year later. A year later to say, well, I want a gold medal, I want 2, or I want 5. Or it still isn't good enough because it's not going to make them who they want to be. It's not enough. The whole thing is just so stupid. So anyway, yeah, so it's a little frustrating. Irritating. Anyway, yeah, say that a lot, but yeah, I'm bludgeoned today. I'm just, having one of my sensitive days, I guess. I'm just like, oh man, it's just so obvious. Life is just so irritating. So much of it. If you really look at it. And if you're not caught up in it, if you're not chasing something, if you don't need something to make your ego bigger, if your ego is already done being egoed, if you're already satisfied with who you are, yeah, this place is just plain stupid. It's a zoo. It's a fucking madhouse. It's idiotic. And speaking of idiotic, my misery me. Jay Sanders, yeah, he's just making rotten subject videos. I mean, stuff he shouldn't even touch if he's got such thoughtless, opinions. I mean, the whole misogynist thing. I mean, it's, had made these videos about how women are inferior and they shouldn't. They're fucking everything up, and it's just. I mean, if he was on the downside of that, if it was proven scientifically that women were 5% smarter than men, or some other race was, I mean, absolutely proven, and so then, and somebody's made the argument, well, we should, discourage people from being in this profession or doing this or doing that because of this general standard. I mean, I know he'd find that offensive. I mean, it's just stupid. It's like measuring somebody's head size and coming up with some correlation between how big their head is and how smart they are, and then saying only big-headed people can do certain things. It would be stupid because it would deny all the aberrance from the norm. Anything that isn't part of the class specifically or fits into it specifically would be denied opportunity to be who they are. I mean, why can't we just be fucking human beings? Be judged based on performance. It's just such bullshit. So anyway, and then this is a rational video on pedophiles in the sense that it's like any other human peculiarity. Something different from the norm, like homosexuality or even gender identity. Transference, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever. I mean, you can go right down the list of all kinds of deviances, and it's like any other. And the person who suffers from it is a victim, and we should have some respect for that that deprivation they have to live with. But in the case of pedophilia, the unfortunate fact is it's like being a vampire. All right. I mean, we could be sympathetic if somebody's a vampire, but we're not going to give them license to go bite people in the neck and turn them into vampires. So there's a responsibility that comes with some deviances that have to be satisfied through exploitation of somebody else, or deviances we can't allow you to exercise. All right. That's the bottom line. And that's got to be stressed and understood, that there's harmless and there's not harmless, and there's very different classes of deviance, and the harmful ones have to be, it has to be made clear that we have no tolerance for that kind of exploitation. And so you have to be careful if you're going to talk about these subjects. Very careful. What I want to add to that, I mean, it sort of relates to the whole free will debate conversation, and even the crime and punishment one again, just because it's we don't punish people for the sake of punishing them. We punish them because there's value in deterrence, and the only way you can create deterrence is associate an act with some sort of negative impact. And if you don't associate with the negative impact with the act, then you're not going to deter the act. So the only way to deter the exploitation is to be kind of almost excessive in reacting to it. Yeah. Something like that anyway. Alright, so enough of that shit. So yeah, I've sort of had my fill of him. And so it's another disappointment. People just keep falling off the rationality map. Little by little. Yeah. But on the bright side, there's this guy. He's got a look to himself there. Called whatever, JLHE 2011. I don't know what that name is exactly. But he has a nice scenic there anyway. Talking some mumbo jumbo philosophy stuff. He points out how he's not an antinatalist and blah blah blah. I mean, he's one of these, again, people who just find justification in life merely because it's alive almost. And that's fine. He's young and he can see the world that way, but yeah, it's still bullshit. But he's a good enough talker, so he might be interesting in the future, so we'll see if it goes anywhere. He seems to be able to make a conversation. Mostly. Anything else of news? Fred. Yeah, he did a video about friends. He did. I guess he's a little sensitive about critiques about the website, and I understand that. I've gotten plenty of that stuff myself. But you sort of solicited it in a way. I mean, you want people to tell you what's wrong with it because you're trying to make it better. So you can't have it both ways. So that's kind of, but whatever. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Professor Anton and sorry, I should remember her name, but I don't. But they do have a look. It's like one of those, what do they call it? What's that famous painting with the guy with the pitchfork and the woman? Well, anyway, they do have a kind of, they make an interesting portrait. So yeah, they were talking about this, whatever it is, this feminism subject indirectly, and sex and such, and men and women are after different things, and yeah, I think everybody sort of can agree on that, and it sort of fucks the game a little. But it's the whole want game is troublesome, and the whole way do you satisfy your wants? I mean, love is always kind of selfish, right? I mean, and we want. It's like we don't want the real value of each other, the people. It's tied to all these superficial little cutenesses and things. The little, like for men, women like a sense of humor, and women, it's this cute thing or pretty thing or majestic. We can use these kind of words that make people appealing, charisma and personality. And just kind of sad and tragic that it really doesn't have anything to do with what kind of thing is in the center of them, what kind of empathy and passion and with the emotion that they're capable of experiencing and even conveying. And it just sucks that everything does turn into this sort of trivial and superficial bullshit that we rate, each other based on. Yeah, it just sucks. So there's really not much other news. Matt made another loopy religion video. Just you know, it's not even listening toable. Existential cat. She's doing the makeup thing, which, you know, but she really is a beautiful woman. It's just really is spooky pretty. Yeah, you know, I hate to say it, but yeah, it really does. Wow. You know, just take your breath away and such. Yeah, it really does a number on you. Yeah, that's all. The rest is all, you know, wacky Australian guy throws in a few videos and some bibble babble here and there, but there really hasn't been much. Been kind of a lean week. So I have been working on the website a little bit, the new Vlogger Dome website, and so I added this thing. So I'll do for each subject. So the modern mystics started this little free will debate. So these are just redundancies, but so there's been 3 videos in the conversation so far. It's free will A, and I did my free will B, and then he did his choice A, and I'll do a video on choice, and there'll be 4 videos, and so that's not a bad little add-on. And yeah, it's not, this site template isn't that bad. I mean, it's you know, I think I can work with it, figure out some things, and yeah, we'll see what happens. See where it goes and such. Yeah, it really is a little irritating that people like this new site, you know, and you know, it's a template. I mean, I didn't do that much. And the one I made from scratch, they hate. So it's just kind of funny. But, you know, that's the way it always works. Sort of, kind of. What else is news? But yeah, see, I mean, the good news is, like, behind the scenes, you can just look at all the comments and stuff. So I think I'll make little tools that move all this stuff so everybody can view it, except they'll just extract IP numbers or whatever else might be in there. So I'll clean it up a little, but some of that stuff might be interesting to people. What the real statistics are on some things or whatever, something like that anyway. So let's see what else is there. Back to Fred's site here for a minute. It's over here. Yeah, so this is, you know, not too much going on here, unfortunately. Not too many videos, people. So Rosebush he added is old. These are like 2-year-old free will videos that are just, yeah, I'm not gonna include them as part of anything because it's a nonsensical argument. You know, it's 10-part videos to basically make up some kind of fable about some sort of illusion of free will. Well, if it's an illusion, it's not free will. So it's just bogus. Anyway, Christina's Twitter page. Yeah, it's the only Twitter page I look at. So her head exploded. Let's see what happened next. Yeah, there's a new one coming. Her head exploded, and then this is how horrible. Oh dear, terrible, terrible. Ah, sorry. Yeah, she knew she was heading for a migraine headache and such. Yeah, so that's bad. Yeah. It's very depressing. It just, you know, it's very depressing. Sickness is depressing. Yeah, I mean, life is, you know, even when you're not sick, it's depressing. And then you got the sickness thing on top of all the other crap, and oh, it's just, for what? For what? Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just complaining. I just don't get it. Just don't see the point in it. How come it still says there's another Twittery there? She must have just posted another one. Oh yeah, that one's 9 minutes ago. So she has another one just a minute ago. Look at that, 36 seconds ago. It's such news. It's brandy new. No, she's not pregnant. Gee, that's not quite. Yeah, well, anyway. I guess people are assuming things. Anyway. Twitter is useless. Thank you very much. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, well, this is, I might as well just end here. So yeah, that's enough for a video. Sorry, I'm just a little bit displaced mentally, tired and fed up, and just kind of done with it all.